Hello, it's Alex from the Archer and Olive Ambassador team. Today I'm going to talk to you about creating a journal spread or checklist to prepare your home for winter. Every autumn there seems to be a long list of things to do inside and outside the home in order to be prepared for any cold weather, wetter weather that might be coming in the winter months. Obviously, this will vary depending on where you are in the world. Here in the UK, we have generally quite mild and wet winters, but there are occasionally some very cold temperatures that can damage outdoor items and be a reason for you to check your home is as warm as it could be. To create this spread, I'm going to use a blank dot grid journal. I love these winter themed ones from Archer and Olive. I'm also going to use a Archer and Olive black fine liner pen. Pencil is always useful to outline any layouts. And the black calligraph pen. I love these pens, the brush tips, broad one end and narrower the other. I'm also going to use a dot grid stencil which has a checklist box. I'm hoping that this spread will be something I could tick off in pencil and use every autumn, again and again. So this is in an A5 journal, and to start with I'm going to position my dot grid stencil to find the centre of the page. This just allows me to position my title in a central place. To create the title, I'm going to use the black calligraph pen from the June 2023 subscription box. The broad tip is fantastic for titles, and the narrower tip on these pens is great for smaller details. So using the broad tip, I'm going to name this spread Preparing for Winter. Obviously, you might want to give it a different name or title, something that means you will remember what it's for and hopefully remember to use it every year. Just using a pencil to outline rough locations where I would like to put subheadings for different areas of my home. In addition to the black calligraph, I wanted to add some touches of colours. But sticking with the winter theme, I've gone for this cool blue colour. So I'm just making my headings now for different sections of this spread. Of course, these will be different for all of you. But here are some examples that you may find useful. Before creating this, I did have a think and jot down some ideas, a bit of a brainstorm about areas of the house, inside the house, outside, vehicles we may need to think about as well, what sort of services that need doing in the autumn, and things that I might need to buy too. You may be a keen gardener and need additional sections of things that need to be maintained or prepared, ready for winter. So next up, I'm going to add the checklist element. So I'm going to use the dot grid stencil, which has a square, the right size for the 5mm dot grid, and the fine liner, which makes a nice narrow box. By ticking these off in pencil each year, I could then erase them and reuse it the following autumn. Now it's time to start adding in our items. So some of these I have had to do in previous years. It may be that you've moved to a new area, somewhere that has more extreme winters, and you need to think about them for the first time. If you own a vehicle, then there are often things that you should do in preparation for colder weather, like making sure the screen wash has antifreeze in it, checking your tyres. You may live somewhere where it's extreme enough to have winter tyres. Outdoors, there's always plenty to do to close down after summer and autumn. clearing out gutters and drains ready for any wetter weather, removing dead or damaged branches in case of heavy snowfall and strong winds we often get here in the UK. Cold weather can break pots, it can damage pipes. If you have an external tap, you should always make sure you turn it off and cover it. If you have a shed or outbuilding, you may have space to tidy away items as well. And this will help protect them from any extreme weather. For example, hose pipes, outdoor furniture, especially any outdoor cushions, should be stored in a dry shed or outbuilding. It's also worth checking what supplies you have from previous winters and making a list of anything that you may need to replenish or buy again. In preparation for winter, if you own your home, you may need to get the chimney swept, have a boiler serviced, order any oil or other sorts of fuel. Perhaps you've got an open fire and need a supply of logs delivered. If you have the resources to, perhaps you could look into improving the insulation in your home, for example the loft. But otherwise, simply check for any drafts and try and seal these around windows and doors before the winter. You might want to also make sure you've got supplies like torches, candles in case of power outages. In the UK, drying the washing is always difficult, especially if you do not have a tumble dryer. And something like packing away the summer clothes and shoes so they don't end up feeling like clutter around your home in the winter. So on my list so far, I do have emergency supplies mentioned a couple of times, and I've got some space at the bottom here. So I'm going to create a list for potential emergency supplies and what I would include in an emergency kit for maybe the car or in the home. So now we've finished our main lists, you can see we've still got some space up here. So we're going to use these stickers with a winter theme from Archer and Olive to add some decoration to our page. Stickers and washi tape are such a fantastic way to add interest, highlight areas of your page and the theme without spending hours drawing anything from scratch. So all that's left to do now is to erase any pencil marks, and here we have our final spread. So divided into sections: vehicles, outdoor spaces, storing away, things to purchase, things to book, indoor areas, and a list of emergency supply ideas. So come autumn, I would use a pencil to tick off each of these as I've completed them, and then the following year you could easily erase it to do it again. I hope you found this useful. Don't forget to have a look at the blog with more details about how I created this, but also a printable with a list similar but that's already prepared for you if you don't have time to create your own. Hopefully these simple ideas will keep you warm and safe this winter. Thank you for watching.